Alright, so let's start now. Okay, so yesterday we learned how to change a quadratic equation, okay, from general form, okay, to vertex form, dan juga from general form to intercept form. Okay, so the reason why we have to know all the three forms is because of what we're going to do after this lah. Okay, lepas ini kita akan belajar satu perkara yang akan menggunakan ketiga-tiga. But you need to know how to change from general form to vertex form, how to change from general form to intercept form. Macam mana mau tukar saling bertukar. Sebab different bentuk akan memberikan kita different maklumat. Okay, dan maklumat ini semua penting untuk apa yang kita akan belajar pada hari ini. Okay, but sebelum itu I want us to understand the vertex form. Okay, a little bit more by looking at this activity lah. So the first thing that we studied yesterday was what is the vertex form? Okay, which is basically a and then x minus h tambah k. And we know that the a ini akan memberitahu kita nilai A itulah, okay, the value of A will tell us whether it is a smiling graph or minimum graph or a maximum graph. Okay, di mana kalau dia adalah minimum graph, the vertex is a minimum point. Kalau dia adalah maximum graph, the vertex is a maximum point. So vertex is titik yang paling hujung lah, either paling tinggi atau paling rendah, depending on the graph. Okay, so ini adalah kalau A adalah positif, ini adalah A adalah negatif. And besides that, the vertex form also tells us, okay, the coordinates of the minimum and maximum point. So in this case, the coordinates will be h and k. In this case, this one will be h and k. Okay, so the first thing yang saya mau beritahu dengan kamu is macam mana kalau kita ubah nilai A, nilai H, and nilai K. Okay, what happens to the graph? Okay, and so this one I want to show you this one lah. Okay, this astaga. Okay, sorry, I need to make this way so it's easier to see. Okay, so you see there's okay, so you have this graph like this lah. Okay, where A equals to 2, positive 2, okay, B equals to negative 3, and C equals to 1. Okay, but because this is A, B, C, this is general form. Okay, A equals to 2, B equals to negative 3, and C equals to 1. So the equation, okay, the persamaan is fx equals to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Inilah in general form is fx equals to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Tapi lepas dia kena ubah pergi vertex, okay, if we change this to vertex, then it will look like this. Okay, so hold on. Oh, ini lain pula kan? Okay. Okay, so let's say if I change the A over to the left side, if I make it negative, we find, okay, so first of all, we know that A positive, A sama dengan 2 kan? If A is positive, then it will be bentuk begini. So if I change it over to negative, this is what I will get. Okay. Sorry. Astaga. Okay, you see that the graph dia turun ke bawah lah. Okay, that's the first important thing. Secondly, kalau saya kasih besar lagi nilai A, and this one we've studied in the previous lesson, the bigger your value of A, the more kempis kamu punya graph akan menjadi. Okay, so the biggest one will be actually 1 lah. Because A0 memang tiada. Okay, straight line. Kalau A1, begini. Okay, so the biggest form of the graph will be when A equals to 1. The bigger your value of A, the more kempis it will be. Okay, sama juga kalau saya pindah pergi negatif. Dia akan pergi ke bawah, tetapi makin besar nilai negatifnya, makin kecil, okay, dia akan menjadi makin kempis. Okay, so that's the effect of the value of A on the graph. Secondly, if I change this, what will happen is, actually this B is H tau, H. Value of H, bukan B lah. Okay, so when I make the H bigger kan, dia akan pindah ke sebelah kanan. When I make the H smaller, it will go to the left. Okay, so value of h is basically the x coordinate. Begitu juga dengan the value of k. Okay, nilai k ya, makin besar saya kasih nilai k, dia akan, the minimum point will go higher and higher. And the lower it is, the smaller the value of k, dia akan pergi ke bawah. Okay, begitu juga kalau dia adalah terbalik. But now I have to, hold on, let me refresh this page first. So, tidak nampak lah kan kalau begini. Okay, kenapa saya tidak boleh zoom keluar? Oh, okay. So you find that, okay. So you find that, okay, now let's say I pindah my graph downwards lah. Okay, begini. Astaga, tidak nampak pula kan kalau begini. Okay, anyway, you can see the tiny graph down. Okay, see the tiny graph down here, yeah. Inilah keburukannya. Okay, so if I make the B bigger, it will go to the right and to the left. Okay, no problem. But remember, if I make the C bigger, it will go higher. Okay, dia akan ke atas. And if I make the C smaller, it will go, dia akan pergi ke bawah. Sama juga kalau dia adalah U shape. Kalau saya letak B makin besar, dia akan ke kanan. H makin besar, dia akan ke kanan. H makin kecil, dia akan ke kiri. Okay, manakala kalau K saya makin besar, dia akan naik. Okay, graph itu akan naik. The minimum point will go higher. And if my K is smaller, okay, so dia punya graph akan turun. Okay, dia akan turun ke bawah. So, ini saya hanya mau cakap sepintas lalu sajalah, just to help you to understand this. But basically, the values of A, H, and K, okay, also have an effect on how the graph changes. Okay, take a look at page 59, muka surat 59. Okay, I want you to take a look at question number 1. Okay, page 59, question number 1. Kita bincang jenis soalan, and then after that, I want to go on to the real thing lah, benda yang sepatutnya saya mau. So you have this graph, fx equals to negative 3x minus 2 squared plus 4. Okay, now this negative tells you that it is a maximum graph. Okay, immediately kamu nampak kan, kamu mesti tahu sudah bah. Okay, so dia adalah graph maximum seperti yang ditunjukkan di sana. Okay, dia graph maximum di mana titik maksimumnya adalah 2 dan 4. Remember that the x coordinate must be opposite nah. Kalau di dalam kurungan dia adalah tolak 2, in the maximum point it must be positive. But the 4 will remain as it is lah. Kalau dia positif, dia positif. Okay, dia adalah y coordinate. So itu sebabnya, that's why you see the number 4 over here. Okay, and this one will be number 2. Okay, so question A, determine the coordinate of the maximum point. The maximum point is, okay, maximum point is 2 and 4. Ambil je koordinat x, but change the sign, okay, and 4. Okay, the behind number lah. Okay, then after that they say the equation of axis of symmetry. Okay, axis of symmetry refers to this line. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is a line, is a vertical line where the maximum or minimum point is. Okay, so the equation, all axis of symmetry, okay, all axis of symmetry, the equation of axis of symmetry, paksi symmetry, okay, is x equals to 2, because this is the coordinate of x. Okay, so I move a little bit away from a while. So let's say I give you this graph, and let's say the minimum point over here is 3 and 4. Okay, so the equation of axis of symmetry, okay, is x equals to 3, because the x coordinate is 3. Because this is the line of the axis of symmetry. Garis yang membahagikan kita punya graph kepada dua bahagian yang serupa. Okay, it is a line, the axis of symmetry is a line that divides your graph into 2 equal sections, except that they are opposite. Okay, same thing like this. If let's say my maximum point over here is negative 1 and 3. So my equation, this is the axis of symmetry. Okay, equation of axis of symmetry, persamaan paksi symmetry is x equals to -1. Okay, so it doesn't matter what kind of graph it is. Semua persamaan paksi symmetry, all equation of axis of symmetry starts with x equals to. Okay, sebab dia adalah garis menegak. So semua garis menegak adalah x sama dengan, and then lepas itu kamu ambil je koordinat x di vertex itu. That's why the vertex form is very important. Okay, I didn't say this yesterday, but I want to mention it now. The vertex form actually gives you 3 information. Okay, let me show you again now. Fx equals to a, x minus h squared plus k. 3 information. Number 1, is it a minimum or maximum graph? Okay, secondly, it will also tell you the minimum or the maximum coordinate. Kan? Tinggal kau ambil nilai h dan k saja. And thirdly, it tells you the equation of axis of symmetry. Okay, which is x equals to blah 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 blah, x equals to blah 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 blah, depending on depending on what the point is lah. Okay, so that's why vertex form sangat-sangat penting tau. It tells us a lot of information yang kamu tidak boleh dapat kalau dia adalah general form. General form doesn't really give you much information. Okay, that's why we have to learn to convert general form to vertex form. So vertex form very important. Okay, so question B in this one is, what happens if we change A to 10? Kalau kita tukar A pergi -10. Okay, so first of all, is it still going to be a maximum graph? Yes, it will be a maximum graph. But compared to this, if I make the A -10, will my graph be fatter or thinner? Okay, think about what you saw just now in the interactive. Okay, so we find that actually the graph will be much thinner. Dia akan jadi lebih kecil. Because the bigger the value of A, okay, whether it's negative or positive lah, makin besar dia punya nilai A, it will become much thinner. Remember the fattest graph, okay, graph yang paling gemuk, yang begini atau begini betul, is when A equals to 1. Okay, or in this case A equals to -1. -1 yang paling besar. Makin besar dia punya nombor kan, kamu punya graph akan makin berkurus. Okay, kan bagus kalau begitu. Kalau kau banyak-banyak makan kan, makin kau berkurus. But unfortunately, that's not true. H changes to 5. Okay, so currently our H is at -2. Sorry. Currently our H is at 2, sorry. Sekarang kita punya H adalah 2 bahkan. Okay. But what happens if our H changes to 5? Remember, H okay, the value of H over here akan mempengaruhi kita punya graph pergi ke sebelah kanan atau pergi ke sebelah kiri. And since our H is going from 2 to 5, means it is going to go to the right. Okay, so the graph will move to the right. Okay, dia akan, instead of 2, it will become 5. Macam itu. Okay, kalau dia adalah, kalau dia adalah lebih besar daripada 2, it will move to the right. If it's smaller than 2, then it will move to the left. Okay, the last question is k equals to -2. Okay, so our original k is 4. Okay, if we change it to -2, what will happen to the graph? Remember, the value of k mempengaruhi sama ada graph itu naik ke atas atau turun ke bawah. And since k is becoming a negative number, what will happen is k kamu akan turun ke bawah. Okay, it will go all the way to -2. Okay, because 4 is up here, so it's going to go all the way down here like this. Okay, -2. Astaga, oh, sorry, here -2. Okay, so for the vertex form, remember this lah. Value of A, okay, value of A tells you whether dia gemuk atau kurus. Makin besar dia punya nilai A, dia akan makin kurus. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, value of H akan memberitahu kita whether the graph is going to go to the right or going to go to the left. If the value of H is getting to be a bigger and bigger number, makin besar dia punya nombor, makin besar means 5 lebih besar daripada negatif 5 lah. Kalau negatif 5 kan dia akan pergi ke sebelah kiri, kalau H. Kalau H adalah nombor yang sangat besar, 5, 10, dia akan pergi ke sebelah kanan. Okay, macam urutan nombor lah kan, very easy. Makin positif dia akan ke kanan, makin negatif dia akan ke kiri. And lastly, the value of K tells you whether the graph is going to go up or going to go down. Okay, if the K is a more positive number, then the graph is going to move upwards. If the K is a more negative number, the graph is going to move downwards. Okay, so all these are very important information to us. Okay, but of course, the most important thing today, please turn to page 60. Okay, muka surat 60 is our main work for today lah. Okay, we need to know how to sketch graphs, okay, of quadratic functions. Okay, so I'm going to use the example that is in page 60. Okay, page 60 in your textbook, except that I want to do a slightly different method lah. Okay, so the function is fx equals to negative x squared plus 4x plus 12. Okay, this is the function, and we all have to learn how to sketch the graph. Okay, this is the important thing. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is, we need to know this form is what form? Is it general form? Is it vertex form? Or is it intercept form? Okay, and this tells us that this is general form. Okay, so I'm going to write it here lah, general form. General form means it is fx equals to negative x plus 4x plus 12. Okay, now the first thing you do, no matter what happens now, when you're asked to sketch a graph, okay, make sure that you have all three forms. Okay, I need to have this in vertex form, okay, and I need to have this in intercept form. No choice. I want you to do this. Okay, that's why yesterday we spent some time how to change between general to vertex to intercept. Must know. Okay, we must know. So, changing from general form to vertex form, kalau kamu tengok dalam buku teks kamu, okay, they have already done the completing the square. So when you change it to general vertex form, you will get fx equals to negative x minus 2 squared plus 16. Okay, so how to change from general form to vertex form is something that we studied yesterday. Kita sudah belajar ini kemarin. So saya tidak mau ulang balik. Saya cuma mau beritahu kamu, kalau kamu mau melakar graph, when you want to sketch a graph, these are the steps you need to take. Number one, write the equation in all three forms. Okay, must. Okay, must. Okay, so now we have vertex form, we have general form. Lastly is the intercept form. Okay, intercept form is we have to find the two brackets lah. Okay, so when we EQN this, we are going to get x minus 6. Oh, sorry. We are going to get negative x plus 6 and x plus 2. Sorry, this is from the textbook, but we can do the same thing lah. Okay, so when you factorize this equation, okay, you will get this one. Okay, so we factorize. This one is we completing the square. Okay, we complete the square, we get the vertex form, we factorize, we get the intercept form. Now, once you have all the three forms, then you can take all the information you can. Okay, from the vertex form, I already said we can get three information. Okay, the first information, is it a minimum or is it a maximum graph? Okay, daripada nombor ini, because it is a negative, it is a maximum graph. Okay, that's first information. Second information, what is my maximum point? Okay, my maximum point is 2 and 16. Okay, we can just straight away take 2 because this is negative 2 bahkan negative, so kita tukar pergi positive. Okay, so two very important pieces of information come from the vertex form. Okay, secondly, now we go to the intercept form. Okay, so why is the intercept form very important? Astaga, kejap. Oh no, this is very annoying. Okay, why is the intercept form very important? Okay, so the intercept form is very important because it tells us the value of x. Okay, yang dia potong. Okay, so the x-intercepts, okay, are x equals to 6 and x equals to -2. Okay, sebab ini kan kalau kita buat EQN kita akan dapat begini. X equals to 6, x equals to -2. Very important. Okay, so because of that now we know that, okay, so bentuk grafnya adalah maksimum. Okay, and dia akan memotong di dua tempat. So dia akan potong macam ni lah. Yang di sebelah kiri is -2, di sebelah kanan is 6. Okay, and we know that the topmost here is 2 dan 16. Okay, kita boleh bayangkan sudah ni macam mana this graph is looking. Okay, now the general form, okay, the general form will give us the last two pieces of information that's very important. Number one, okay, the value of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, remember the three conditions for b squared minus 4ac? Masih ingat tak? Let me see if I can find it. B squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4, there, this one. Now, b squared minus 4ac, if it is a positive number, it is two real and different roots. Oh, actually we did something more than this, right? This one. Kalau b squared minus 4ac is positive number, dia akan potong di dua tempat macam kita punya graph tadi. Kalau b squared minus 4ac ngam-ngam sama dengan kosong, dia akan potong di satu tempat. Dan kalau b squared minus 4ac adalah nombor negatif, dia akan graph yang tergantung di udara. So this one, this thing that I'm showing you now is the most important thing for general form. Kenapa general form sangat penting? Sebab this is the information that is given to us from the general form. Okay, I will send a picture of this later so that you can refer. Okay, so when we calculate this, we find that what is my b squared minus 4ac? 4 squared minus 4 times -1 times 12. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of rushing lah, so I got no time to ask people, okay, can you please calculate this yang biasanya saya buat bahkan. Okay, saya mau kasih habis by ni bab, really. So, sorry, I'm kind of rushing. Okay, so 16 plus, how much is this? 48. Okay, will give us 64. So it's a positive number lah, kan? Positive number means there will be two equal and, two real and different roots. Okay, which is this lah. The two roots are 2 dan 6, -2 dan 6. Okay, but there is one more important piece of information that you need to get from the general form. Okay, so we use the general form, okay, to find the y-intercept. Okay, and how do you find the y-intercept? We substitute x equals to 0. Okay, so when x equals to 0, fx equals to -0 plus 4 times 0 plus 12. And this will give us the value of 12. Okay, now we put all this together. Okay, kita letak semua ini di dalam. Okay, and we see what. So we have this kind of rough graph over here lah. Okay, tinggal sekarang kita kena letakkan 12 sebagai the intercept. So what you do is you draw your graph like this. Okay, you plot all the points. Okay, we know that there is a -2 over here, and we know that there is a 6 over here. Okay, we know that there is a 2. There's a 2 over here, and then there is a 16, and then di bawah sini adalah 12. Okay, so we know that 2 and 16 is here. Itu adalah maximum point. Sini dia akan potong, sini dia akan potong, dan dia punya y-intercept adalah ini. You must have at least 3 points. Okay, at least 3 points, so that you can lakar the graph like this. So dia punya bentuk akan jadi macam ni. Okay, baru dikira sebagai Betul. Okay, so you see that each form, setiap form, vertex form, general form, intercept form akan memberi kita dua maklumat setiap satu. Okay, yang kita gunakan untuk melakar graf. So the vertex form tells us what is the shape. Is it a U shape or N shape? And it also tells us the maximum or the minimum point. So that's one coordinate. The general form tells us whether dia adalah two real and different roots, or one equal root, or no real roots. Okay, remember the picture I showed you just now. And the general form also tells us the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept means you ganti x sama dengan kosong, you dapat nilai y, and then you make sure you plot over here. Okay, so the 0 and 12. The intercept form tells us the two values of x. Okay, the two very important values of x that will potong. Now, sometimes you will not get the values of x. Okay, because it all depends on the value of b squared minus 4ac. Okay, let me show you again. If your banyak kali saya kasih video ni. Okay, so if remember this, you can only use the intercept form. Okay, intercept form kamu hanya boleh pakai kalau situasinya adalah ini dan ini sahaja. This one kan tiada guna kamu guna intercept form because dia tidak memotong paksi x. There will be no real roots. You will get mat error. Okay, bila kamu EQN. Okay, so that's why start with the general form, then go to the vertex form. Kalau adalah general form itu, then you go to the intercept form. Okay, but of course you need to know how to find all three. Okay, this is probably the most important part of chapter 2. Yeah, sorry. So banyak-banyak yang kamu belajar di chapter 2 kan, this is the most important part. Inilah macam the pinnacle sudahlah. Okay, kamu sudah sampai ke puncak chapter 2. Melakar graph. You use all the information yang kita belajar dari dulu-dulu yang macam apa ini, kenapa saya belajar ini. This is the reason why. Okay, because it all comes together and then we can lakar satu graph. Okay, so sorry, and then the intercept form will tell us the two x-intercepts. Okay, as I said just now. Okay, so what I want you to do, what I want us to do lah. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one lah. Okay, page 61. Okay, muka surat 61. This is obviously going to be a homework lah, tapi I want to try and discuss and see lah. Okay, let's do question number 1a just to show you. Okay, 1a. So you have the equation fx equals to x minus 1 squared, okay, minus 4. Okay, question number 1a in page 61. If you feel like you want to salin this, better you salin lah. Sebab ini memang homework kamu juga lah. Okay, for today. Okay, so this is what form? Is it vertex form? Is it general form? Is it intercept form? Satu kali kamu nampak, kamu tahu sudah. This is vertex form. Okay, vertex form. So vertex form is x minus 1 squared minus 4. You can tell me two pieces of information. Number one, is it minimum or maximum graph? Okay, it is a minimum graph because nombor di depan adalah nombor positive number. Number positive. So because it's a positive number, it is a U-shaped graph. Okay. Secondly, if it is a U-shaped graph, then the bottommost point is called a minimum point. So what is my minimum minimum point coordinate? Minimum coordinate. Okay, will be 1 and negative 4. Remember, x coordinate, kita ambil negatif 1, tapi kita tukar dia punya tanda. Wajib. Okay, kalau dia positif, kita tukar pergi negatif. Kalau dia negatif, kita tukar pergi positif. Don't forget that. Hanya y coordinate saja yang kita kekalkan. Okay, kalau negatif 4 lah itu. Okay. So, two pieces of information done. Okay, for that one lah. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next one is we have to change this to general form. Okay, so x minus 1 squared minus 4. Okay, let's change it to general form. How do we change to general form? Kita kembangkan. Okay, and that's why now you see why di bulan January kan, saya balik-balik saya cakap we have to know how to expand, properly. Okay, so this will be x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 4. Okay, people, kalau sampai hari ini kamu masih expand ini sebagai x squared plus 1 squared, okay, be very careful. Okay, ini adalah sekarang haram. Okay, dari segi undang-undang matematik tambahan ini haram sudah. You should not be making this kind of noob mistake. Okay, no noob mistake. Okay, tolong buat ya macam ni. Okay, let's simplify this. This will be x squared minus 2x 1 tolak 4 lebih minus 3. So general form sudah. So fx equals to x squared minus 2x minus 3. Okay, minus 3 kan? Okay. So general form akan memberi kita dua information, which is number one, b squared minus 4ac, and secondly, the y-intercept. Okay, remember this. General form will give us b squared minus 4ac and y-intercept. Okay, so number one, what is the value of b squared minus 4ac? b squared minus 4ac will be negative 2 squared, so ini b bahkan, okay, minus 4, sorry, the whole thing squared, people don't forget, okay, minus 4 times 1 times negative 3. So this will give us negative 2 squared will be 4, negative 4 times 1 times negative 3 will be plus 12, so dia adalah 16. Okay, so b squared minus 4ac is a positive number. Positive number means two equal, sorry, balik-balik saya cakap two equal kan, two real and different roots. Okay, ini kesimpulannya. Okay, then the second one is kita mau cari y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x equals to 0. When x equals to 0, kita gantikan fx equals to 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3, kita akan dapat minus 3. Okay, so the coordinate, the y-intercept is negative 3. Dia akan memotong di paksi y pada nilai negatif 3. Very important. Okay, now let's do intercept form. Okay, and remember, intercept form hanya wujud kalau b squared minus 4ac is positif atau kosong. Kalau b squared minus 4ac tidak sama dengan kosong, don't bother to find the intercept form. Memang tiada. Okay, alright, so when you EQN this, okay, when you EQN this, you get what? X equals to, sorry, can somebody EQN this and please let me know X sama dengan berapa, X sama dengan berapa?
X equal to 3 and then x equal to negative 1.
Okay, negative 1. Okay, actually kan, if you think about it lah, shortcut lah, kamu hanya perlu these two nilai by ni sebenarnya lah. You don't have to change the intercept form. Tapi saya mau juga. So kau pakai EQN kan, terus kau dapat jawapan kan. But I still want you to write it in a proper EQN form. In a proper intercept form lah. Okay, jangan kita cheating. So fx equals to x minus 3 and x plus 1. Dia akan terbalik. Okay, dia memang akan terbalik. So x tolak 3, x tambah 1. Okay, so that means this one will give us the 2 points di mana dia akan memotong. This is a minimum graph. So begini, sebelah kiri adalah negatif 1. Obviously sebelah kiri adalah negatif 1. Jangan juga kamu letak sebelah kiri 3. What? No, okay, sebelah kiri negatif 1, sebelah kanan adalah 3. Now we combine all the 6 information into one graph. Oh dear. Okay, so let's see, we have negative 1 and negative 4, and then we have negative 3 over here. So if I draw like this, okay, here is negative 1, here is 3 lah. Okay, I know. Okay, then the x coordinate here is 1. Okay, then the bottom here is negative 4, and then di sini ada negative 3. Okay, now the good thing about, benda yang bagus pasal melakar graph lah, when you are sketching a graph kan, you don't really have to like, oh okay, Mesti dia sama-sama jarak bah, don't have to lah. Tapi dia mesti make sense lah. Jangan juga kamu letakkan satu di paling kiri and then negatif satu di tengah and then tiga di kanan. It has to make sense, but it doesn't have to be like, you know, like, oh okay, kita mesti tengok dia punya jarak. No need lah. Okay, just agak-agak sajalah. Okay, so we know that we have this coordinate, -1 and -4. So I plot over here lah, 1, -4. We know that the y-intercept is -3. So another mark over here. And then these two definitely will be marked. Then we can draw the U shape already, huh? Kan? Draw the U shape begitu. Okay? And whether it is ugly or it is pretty, I hope it's pretty lah. When you do your homework, I hope it's pretty, not like my ugly so drawing, but not like my drawing so ugly. You know, but you know, as long as I have the shape and I have the 4 points, you're done. You're good to go. Okay, this is fx and obviously this is x. Selesai soalan ini. Okay, tapi ini baguslah sebab dia bagi dari vertex form. Just now the example we discussed kan, it started with general form and then pergi ke vertex form. Itu yang susah sikit lah sebab dia pakai completing the square, the thing that you learned yesterday. Okay. Tapi once you know how to do this kan, kamu balik-balik boleh buat ini, this melakar graph. And it is a very important skill. Just remember, every form gives you two information. Vertex form tells you the shape and whether it is a minimum or maximum point. Okay. General form tells you whether they potong di dua tempat kah, potong di satu tempat kah, atau tidak memotong langsung. Okay. And also tells you the y-intercept. Okay. Intercept form tells you the two places kalau ada in the x-axis where dia memotong. Okay, so that's why we need to know how to do all three forms. But the most important, obviously, is the vertex formula. Okay. Okay, so E is fx equals to negative x plus 3 and x plus 5. Okay, this one be very careful. Ini berhati-hati sikit. Okay, this is what form? This is intercept form. Okay, so ini probably yang paling susah lah. Thank you, Al-Izzat, for choosing the most difficult. So negative x plus 3 and x plus 5. Now, intercept form tells us the 2 points. Okay, tetapi, very important lah. Kalau ada negatif di depan, kamu kasih darab dulu negatif di dalam satu kurungan sahaja. Okay, so it will be negative x minus 3 and then x plus 5. So then what you do after that is baru kamu boleh dapat the two values of x, which is x equals to minus 3 and x equals to minus 5. Okay, tapi the problem is we still don't know whether it is a U shape or this one. Okay, so kita tunggu sekejap. Saya plot sajalah. Okay, negative 5 sebelah kiri, negative 3 sebelah sini. But we don't know what shape it is yet, whether it is an N shape or U shape. Okay, let's change this to general form. Okay, general form is kita expand. Okay, so x times x will be x squared. There is a negative in front, so kita kekalkan dulu. And then x times 5 will be 5x tambah 3x tambah 15. Tapi ada negatif di depan. Okay, so fx over here. Dan lepas itu baru kita darabkan masuk. Negative x squared minus 5x minus 3x minus 15. Okay, so this will give us negative x squared minus 8x minus 15. Baru general form. Okay, so general form tells us two information. B squared minus 4ac and the y-intercept. Okay, calculate the b squared minus 4ac please. Let me see, negative 8 semuanya squared. Okay, minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 50. Can somebody count this one for me, please? Okay, Liana say 4. Okay, answer is 4. Good. 4 means betul lah, memang ada dua tempat lah. Okay, so itu dibuktikan sudah. Okay, so now we have to find the y-intercept. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. So y-intercept, so when x equals to 0, okay, find the y-intercept. So fx equals to Negative 0 squared minus 8 times 0 minus 15. So my answer will be negative 15. Okay, so this is a very important point lah. Kejap lagi kita akan tengok. Alright, last one. This is the worst. Vertex form. Okay, so mau tukar daripada general kepada vertex is completing the square. Pandai orang si Al-Izzat ni, dia memilih soalan yang sengaja dia kasih susah. Okay, so let's start with this. Negative x squared minus 8x minus 15. Kalau kita mau complete the square, kita kasih keluar negative 1 dahululah. So dia mesti 1. So x squared, negative 8 bahagi negative 1 will be tambah 8x. And then negative 15 bahagi negative 1 akan memberikan kita positive 15. Okay. Now, what is the number b? B is 8. So the completing the square is 8 divided by 2, then you square the whole thing. Okay, so what we will get is, once again, negative 1 x squared plus 8x. Okay, then apa yang kita tambah? 8 bahagi 2, 4. 4 kuasa 2, 4 kuasa 2 lah, kita jangan tukar itu. Plus 4 squared minus 4 squared plus 15. Astaga, tidak. Green color pula ni kan. Okay, plus 15. Okay, I know I am going very fast people, but ini kan yang balik-balik sudah saya ajarkan. You need to keep practicing it, okay, to do it. Okay, so continuing on, what happens to this? This akan kena compare together. So negative 1 is to be x plus 4 the whole thing squared. Okay, minus, okay, 4 squared plus 15. This will give you a value of minus 1. Okay, and then baru kita darab itu negatif masuk. Okay, which is this and this. So it give you negative 1 x plus 4 squared plus 1. Once we have it in vertex form, we can get the two important pieces of information. Number one, what kind of graph is this? Is this a minimum or maximum graph? Because the number is a negative number, so it's going to be a maximum graph. Okay, so information number one, maximum graph. Jadi kita tahu yang ini adalah begini. Okay, we know that it's going to be like that kind of shape. Okay, and secondly, what is my maximum point? My maximum point is sini 4, tapi tidak boleh dia mesti tukar tanda. So negative 4, and this one kita ambil saja begitu. Okay, now that we have all the information we need, okay, then we can plot. Okay, let me see. Okay, negative 16 lah. Sekali saya tengok saya yang salah. Kejap, let me just double check. Macam saya betul lah. Should be correct. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, the paling bawah is negative 15, okay, which is like very strange lah. Tapi kita plot saja. Okay. So over here we have negative 3. Over here we have negative 5. Negative 4 is here. Okay. Tapi di atas sini adalah 1. Kan? Because there's 1. And then paling bawah, somewhere down here is negative 15. Okay. So I plot this one. Negative 4 and 1. Negative 5. Negative 3 and negative 15. So you can have this kind of shape. And then you can sambung. Okay, make sure you do fx over here and x over here untuk melengkapkannya semua lah. Okay, so you see, 3 sudah soalan saya jawab, okay, dan 3 pun kan dia punya step sama saja. The only problem is sometimes equation dia akan bagi, contohnya macam soalan ni lah, ini dia bagi intercept form dulu. Then you change to general form, then you change to vertex form. Ini no choice, no. You have to know how to do these forms. Okay, soalan yang first tadi, soalan A tadi, dia bagi vertex form. You still have to change it to general form. You still have to change it to intercept form. Yang contoh yang saya bincang tadi, dia bagi general form. And this one, they give general form, then saya kena cari vertex form, dan saya kena cari intercept form. So that's why this thing yang saya lukis untuk kamu kemarin, the one that I drew for you yesterday, which now I can't find. Wait, where is it? I have lost it. Oh, this one. Okay, this one very important. Vertex form to general form, we expand. General form to intercept form, we factorize atau kita pakai EQN lah. Okay, then kita terbalikkan. Intercept form to general form, we must expand. Kita kembangkan. General form to vertex form, ini yang paling susah lah. Okay, completing the square. Okay, but guys, listen to this. Benda-benda seperti expansion dan factorize ini kan, okay, perlu kamu kuasai. You have to master this. Okay, whether you're doing maths or you're doing maths biasa, okay, ini expansion ini sangat penting. I still see dalam beberapa orang kamu punya latihan kan, you are still giving me the noob mistake yang saya cakap tadi. Mana itu? Where is the noob mistake? Yang saya cakap haram dari segi undang-undang maths. Okay, the one that I say lah, let's say x plus 1 squared bahkan. Masih lagi ada orang yang tulis begini tambah 1 squared. Tiada istilah begini guys, okay? Jangan buat noob mistake macam ni. Remember the x plus 1 squared is x plus 1 darab dengan x plus 1. Then lepas itu all the arrow begitu. Okay, you need to know this. Okay, mesti dikuasai. Okay, so today your homework, the homework macam saya cakap kemarin okay, is gathered from yesterday, today, and then tomorrow is your final set lah. Okay, so today's homework will be page 61. Okay, self-practice 2.10, question number 1. Okay, all. Termasuk dua soalan yang saya sudah bincang tadi lah. Okay, so if you're not sure about how to answer these two questions, okay, later you can watch this video again to see how the solution is done. Okay, but please answer all of this. 9 saja bah itu. Okay, only 9 graph that you need to sketch, but the step is always the same.